Your Honor, State was just going to inquire if Mr. Hill has already exercised his one-time return to get his items, to see if it needs to be ordered again.
No, I'm not, he's already been there once. He's not, you're living in separate places right now,
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Okay, all right. Okay.
I,
That's not true. There was no cell phone at the presence, and the laptop was returned to the
Okay.
police and handed over to Officer Rosa.
Does he still have items at the home that he needs to get?
No, I have checked through my house,
Yeah, well, we could
even
say,
given
yeah, no, well,
clothing and
yeah, no
other
returns.
shoes and other materials that
Right.
he has
My cell
possessed.
phone.
No return and maintain separate residences, so it kind of goes hand in hand. So ma'am, it's your testimony and you're under oath that he does not have a cell phone at the house?
I did not find any cell phone within my dwelling.
What's that? Yeah. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do, Mr. Hill, and I'm being very serious about this. I will allow you to go back one time to retrieve your phone. However, and Mr. Urick can explain this to you, well, you've already done it before, but you have to have a law enforcement escort, okay? And it's just to get that phone, all right? Additionally, sir, I'm gonna order, I don't see that this was a thing, but I just always order it. I'm gonna order that, you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Obviously, if you have a prescription, you can take that.
of course.
But we all know that sometimes bad decisions are made if you do use intoxicants. So basically, no return except for one time with law enforcement to retrieve the phone, okay? You have to maintain your separate residence, which it sounds like you already are doing. No weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, to law enforcement turn them over within 12 hours. Again, no contact. So basically, everything that was put in place first. And then no consumption or possession of alcohol or illegal drugs. And sir, I'm being very serious when I tell you this. Don't violate this again. You know, this is a case that could have serious consequences. Like I said, Mr. Urick's a very good attorney, so he's gonna do his best to represent you. But if you're violating that, you're not making his job any easier, okay? Ma'am, do you understand those conditions?
Yes, and if I may add, when I was going to retrieve his laptop and give it to the officer was in my home and
Okay.
was with me throughout the whole time and also did not see a cell phone
Okay.
located in the
Well,
residence.
if he's saying the Apple app saying it's there again, it'll be with
You're
law
more than welcome to
enforcement.
check with an officer, but
Yeah, it'll be it'll be there. And ma'am, so you've heard what I said to Mr. Hill, I'm gonna say this to you now. If Mr. Hill violates any of those conditions, obviously, your safety and, you know, your safety is of the utmost importance to not only the court, but, you know, everybody involved. So, but again, make sure that if it's a violation, don't use this as a weaponizing tool, okay? So if there's a violation, then call law enforcement and we'll do that. But, you know,
that's
just,
what I've been doing.
I think, Mr. Hill, are we on the same page now?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're clear?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. All right, sir. So you have a bond on the new case as well as you're gonna have to repost a bond on the case you were out on. So if you can post that, then you'll get out. You should get out today because I think there's nothing else holding him. Is that correct?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, sir. Good luck. Good to see you, sir. All right. Come on up. Good morning. Any appearances?
Price?
All right. Mr. Price, please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, you can put your hand down. You state your name?
Kyle Price.
All right. Sir, please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, put your hand down. Could you state your name?
Kevin San Miguel.
Could you speak up a little bit?
Kevin San Miguel.
Okay, Mr. San Miguel, what is your relationship to Mr. Price?
That's my boyfriend.
That's your what?
My boyfriend.
Okay. State?
Are you afraid of him?
Not at all.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Never. He's not a violent person.
If anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred, do you feel comfortable calling 911?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think that would ever happen.
Understood, but in the event that it did, would you feel comfortable calling?
Absolutely, yeah.
Do you two reside in the same home?
Yes.
Are you comfortable with him returning to that home?
Yes.
Are there children in the home?
We have 7 animals. Sorry, animals. That's
Animals?
our babies.
Are fearful
You
of
have
the
furry
animal-
children.
Those
Are
our
you fearful
cats
for
and
any of the
his
animal
dog
safety
are our
if you were to return?
Yes. He's totally safe for me. He's not a threat.
And do you want contact with him while this case is pending?
Yeah, I'm willing to keep peaceful.
He said yes, that he was fearful, but then clarified staying.
No, I'm not.
everything is
I'm not
safe.
fearful.
I think he misunderstood the question.
Okay.
I believe that's the clarification.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering too, so.
No, he's never been a threat. He's never been known to be dangerous or violent. We've kept peace. It was just an argument that got escalated. The neighbors called for noise complaint, and the emotions were still heightened. So at the time, they decided to take him in because of the
Okay.
emotion.
So nothing like this has ever happened before?
Ever.
Okay.
Ever. This was unexpected, and he does not deserve to be in there.
All right.
And your state has no further questions.
Okay, he does qualify for PTR.
Does qualify, state has no objection. Understanding the PTR, I believe Mr. Price has no prior history and the victim's testimony.
Yeah,
I assume the court's gonna do a no hostel.
no hostile.
We just ask that you make it clear that with a no hostel, that's if the victim calls or if anybody else calls.
Yep,
It needs to be very,
I'll take care of it. Mr. Kelly, do you have any questions?
Absolutely not.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Kelly, your client does qualify for pretrial release. No, I'm gonna give him PTR, okay? And then, Mr. San Miguel can address that with the state attorney's office. That's not something we're gonna do today, but, so, sir, on pretrial release, what it is it's, instead of making you post a bond, I'm going to, release you, but there's gonna be certain conditions, okay? Based on, the testimony from Mr. San Miguel, I am going to allow you to return to the home, but I'm ordering that you have no hostile contact, okay? And, sir, when I say no hostile contact, that means he can't even raise his voice at you,
Right.
okay? And if he does and you call the police, then that'll be a violation and you're gonna come back here, okay? So but I'm gonna let you go back, okay? Just give me 1 second here. So it looks like alcohol was involved.
He does not drink.
No.
He was not drunk at the time.
Well, I'm gonna order that he doesn't, yeah, okay, I see that. Okay, I got it. So this is what I'm gonna order because I don't want this you are not to have, possess or consume any alcohol. That means it can't be in the residence, okay? There's no indication of drugs or weapons, so. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna leave it at, based on the testimony, no hostile contact and no alcohol possession or consumption, so you don't have any alcohol in the residence, okay? Okay. Figured out? Okay. But that's fine. If he's staying somewhere else, this is just for in the home specifically and to note, and it sounds like he doesn't drink.
He does
But
not.
if he does, then don't do it, okay? Yeah, so you can have it's no hostile contact, so I don't need to order a one-time return. But if you're gonna go stay somewhere else, that's probably a good idea, just to get things cooled down, okay? Okay. Thank you for coming today. All right, anything else, Mr. Kelly? All right, sir, so you'll get out today. All right,
Thank you.
you may. Have a good day, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. Is that all the privates we have? Okay. Who's this young gentleman right here? Okay, that's what I figured, so I thought you were sitting in the back, so I thought you were a private attorney, so. Well, welcome. Good morning, sir. All right, state, so, sir, please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, you put your hand down. Can you state your name, please? All right, Mr. Davis, we were here yesterday, and did you get any supplemental reports?
Yes, Your Honor. As to count 2 for the PC reset state was able to obtain an initial affidavit from Orange County. May I approach?
You may.
One has also been provided to defense.
Okay, come on up. Thank you. Give me 1 second, sir. And defense, you did receive a copy of this?
I'm reviewing it now, Your Honor. I just
Okay.
received it. This is it. This is the supplement. Yeah, that's
You
good.
can make it, I'll change the, I think it remains the same, but I'll change it just for.
Okay. And Your Honor, the only issue which the state is going to change the charge to is that it doesn't appear any lights and sirens were activated. So I believe it remains the same level of felony, but it would just be a regular fleeing and attempting.
Yeah, and that's what, I have it right here. It just says fleeing, attempting to elude.
Correct.
I don't have it, so yeah, we'll do that, because it looks like he took off and, according to the, allegedly, and because they didn't pursue because there was a child in the car.
Correct.
So, all right, so sir, I had already reviewed your affidavit yesterday, and I had found probable cause. There was a challenge, and I agreed with the state. However, a supplemental incident report was provided, so I do now find probable cause as to count 2, and it's just simple fleeing and eluding, attempting to elude. So I'm gonna give you a bond in this case, in all cases, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I found probable cause for counts 1 through 5.
You didn't address anything.
State, do you wish to be heard as the bond?
Yes, Your Honor, state would be asking mostly for the schedule on all counts, given that probable cause is now found. The highest degree felony, they're all F3s.
Yeah.
So all of them are F3s that are violent in nature, however, so they'd be 5,000. However, that might be tantamount to no bond, 5,000 on each count.
Yeah,
So we'd ask for at least 5,000 on
count.
3 and 4, the ag assaults.
Mm-hmm.
We would have some subsidiaries on 1, 2, and 5. Additionally, Mr. Davis is out on bond. And given that it's also firearm-related, drug-related, state is requesting that you revoke it and set it at none.
I don't have his, I don't bond sheet.
I have it as 24 CF 12274.
You addressed it yesterday. You said you were going to address it.
Yeah.
I saw it yesterday, you
Yeah, I
said-
thought I remember that, but I didn't see the sheet on it.
Print it out for us,
Uh,
and they had all the charges on it. Judge don't have it, we don't have, they didn't print it out for us. You got it? Let me see if I can find it, maybe I have it.
Yeah, just so I have the case number on it, and
773.
33 days, okay.
All of the charges that are on the face sheet, state didn't end up filing. There's like 7 of them on there. We only ended up filing trafficking and oxy and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon.
Okay, give me 1 second there. She's printing it out right now.
The affidavit?
Fan.
And then the
Okay,
coming to, it's just taking a while to.
okay. Got that? All right. Thank you. 1 second, sir. Thank you. All right, so you said they, oh, okay, well, got 2 of them now. Learn from this feast to famine, our famine to feast. So state which charges did you file on?
We ended up filing the trafficking and oxycodone, the
Okay.
F1, and then the possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, the F2.
Okay,
However, given that it was firearm related, and the new case also alleges
Understood.
firearms,
yeah.
requesting it be revoked.
All right, so sir, I have found probable cause for your new case, and it's 2025 CF 7732 AO. As to count 1, I'll set your bond at 2,500. As to count 2, I'll set your bond at 2,500. Count 3, 5,000. Count 4, 5,000. Count 5, 2,500. As a condition of your release, you're not to have any contact with the victim in this case. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, we'd also ask for a no return back to that
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah, okay. And sir, you are not to, if you are, when you are released, you are not to return to a hotel located one second. Just want to make sure that's the right address. At 5008 Londonderry Court, Orlando, Florida, 32808. All right, so that takes care of your new case. As to case 2024 CF 012274AO, looks like the state filed as count 1, trafficking and oxycodone. And count 2, possession of a concealed weapon by a convicted, did you say it was, you said possession of the firearm, correct, not the weapon?
Yes, possession of a firearm by a convicted
Okay.
felon.
Possession of the firearm by a convicted felon. So in that case, sir, your original bond was set at $36,750. I am going to revoke your bond in order that you're held at no bond. Good luck, sir.
All right.
Oh, yeah. Said, Drashy's mental health? Okay,
Um,
looks like it's,
Oh, he was reset,
So,
I guess, because he no longer qualifies for PTR.
yes.
So I
yeah,
would-
Bonds.
okay.
Yep, just ask for bond, Your Honor.
We don't want PTR on this?
He doesn't qualify
Oh,
anymore.
he doesn't? Oh, because it says right here he does, but,
I believe he did, and he got put on PTR, and then he
Gotcha.
got shipped back.
okay. So at this time, I will appoint the public defender, if I have not already done so. I do find probable cause. As to count one, I'm gonna set his bond at 2,500. As to count two, I'm gonna set his bond at 2,500. As to count three, I'm gonna set his bond at 5,000. As to count four, I'm gonna set his bond at 5,000. As to count five, I'm gonna set his bond at 500. And this is a case of Bruce Drashy, 2025 CF 7687AO. As a condition of bond, he is to have no contact directly or indirectly with the victim. He's not to possess any weapons or firearms. If he has any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over within 12 hours of his release. He is not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you please raise your right hand? You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Jamar Battle.
All right, Ms. Battle. Was this a case that was set for yesterday? It's a new case? Okay. All right, sir, we're here in case 2025 CF 7756AO. You've been charged with aggravated assault with a firearm. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Regina Battle.
All right, I've reviewed the arrest affidavit. Looks like you are the victim in this case. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
State.
Good morning, Miss Battle. Can you please state your relationship to Jamar?
I'm his mother.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No, but it was a misunderstanding because you know how kids like to spray paint like water guns and stuff, and that what it was. It was a misunderstanding, and I came to drop the charges.
Do you want contact with him while this case is pending?
Yes.
Does he live in your home?
Yes.
Are you comfortable with him returning there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are there other children there?
No, ma'am.
State has no further questions, Your Honor, just some argument.
All right, so sir, before we go any further, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you? You have to answer out loud.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, argument.
Yes, Your Honor. This is an F3 that's violent in nature. We are asking for at least a schedule, which is 5,000. Taking into account Mr. Battle is 18, and he already has a decent amount of history, several prior firearm offenses as well. One in 2021, it was another ag assault with a firearm, and then in 2023, possession of a firearm by a convicted delinquent. Additionally, there's a slew of other history as well: burglaries, criminal mischiefs, robberies, introducing contraband, trespassing, grand theft motor vehicles, bat Leo, bird dwelling, things of that nature. It's in front of you on the face sheet. Our state's concerned regarding the allegations in this case and his history, but also that Mr. Battle cannot legally carry a firearm. One, due to him being a convicted delinquent, but two, he's 18, so he's not age of majority of 21 for a firearm. So station's asking you to take all that into account when setting his bond. The allegations in this affidavit were allegedly over a video game, calling his mother mad that she said the video game was not there, to which he allegedly pulled a firearm, stated he was going to kill everyone in the house, and had a female with him, who then allegedly, supposedly shoved his mother when they were leaving. To state's concern regarding the disproportionate
Okay.
behavior, that it was all over telling him that allegedly a video game was not.
On the possession of cannabis that he's out on bond, has that been filed on?
No, Your Honor, that case is from May 21st.
Yeah,
So it hasn't even been a month yet.
yeah,
However, just in Canada, the court as well, it is a cannabis under 20,
yeah.
and FDLE will not test it, so that case is most likely, I do not know, but most likely going to be
All right.
no cost.
I'm not gonna take any question, or any, action on it. All right, sir. Regarding, and I am troubled by the, allegations in this case. I'm gonna set your bond at $15,000. Ma'am,
Yes, sir.
but what I'm troubled by is that the history with the firearms. So I am taking that into account. Um,
No, I know that.
okay, so I tell you what I'll do. I'll meet in the middle and I'll set his bond at 10,000. But I'm not going 5. Ma'am, so you want Mr. Battle to return to your house
Yes, sir.
and you're not afraid of him?
No, sir.
All right,
Your Honor, sorry, if I may just briefly.
Yeah.
Understanding the victim's testimony, we are asking that you not modify it, as the allegation was that he pulled the firearm, pointed it at his mother, but stated that he was going to kill everyone in the home.
I'm not letting him go back there. So, ma'am, I understand what you testified to. However, I have to take into account what is the safety of all individuals involved. Yeah, he's got to maintain separate residence, no hostile contact. So, ma'am, he's got to live somewhere else for right now.
Okay.
He can have contact with you, but no hostile contact. So that means if he raises his voice, then that's going to be a problem,
Yes, sir.
okay? Additionally, sir, you're not to possess any, you're not allowed to anyway, but you can't have any weapons or firearms,
Yes, sir.
okay? Also, so you must maintain a separate residence. I will allow you to have contact with your mother.
Okay, thank you.
Give me 1 second. Okay. You are not to possess, and you're not, you're not legal anyway, but you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs,
Yes, sir.
okay? So your bond's set at 10,000. I'm taking no action on the out on bond case. First two, yeah, okay. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well. Could you please raise your right hand? Could you state your name, or sorry, do you swear from the testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Excuse me.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Could you state your name, please?
Enzo Cerdera.
All right, Mr. Sedera, you put your hand down. It's case 2025 CF 7813. I don't see a victim in this case. Sir, I have found probable cause for your arrest. You do qualify for what is referred to as pretrial release, meaning I can release you without a bond but there's gonna be some conditions, okay?
Can you explain that? I've never been in a situation like.
I know, that's why you're good, that's why I'm doing, State, you have any objection to PTR?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
I have a 3-year-old and I don't have a good job, so I need a public defender.
Yeah, I'll give you a public defender. It costs you $50. So,
Okay. Yeah, I got that.
all right, so I will,
No,
all right, sir. So, as a condition of your pretrial release, you are not to return to 12140 Sandpiper Landing Way, Bay Lake, Florida, 34787.
Sir.
I will allow you to return one time with the assistance of law enforcement to get personal effects.
I'm sorry.
You are to have no contact with the victim in this case.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that means no contact means direct or indirect. Additionally, you are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 12 hours of your release. Okay? Additionally, you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs. Since there was a child involved, you must cooperate with any DCF investigation.
Yes, sir.
Okay? State any other conditions you'd like?
No, Your Honor.
All right, sir. So I've appointed your attorney. I would speak to her. All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep. Good morning. Well, please raise your right hand. You swear a firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
All right, could you state your name?
Cordero Adolfi?
All right, sir, you can put your hand down. Sir, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
Okay. This case 2025 MM 404 584AO. Sir, I'm gonna okay. So with the defendant, with the other defendant in this case, it's like Quenisha P.
Yes.
Pia. Do you both live at the 1940 Lake Heritage Park 727?
No.
Okay. Do you live together?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
So do you live with the other individual that's the second
Yes.
defendant?
Your Honor, could we bring them both in? I believe both were arrested, so we can see if they want contact with each other. It looks like they're victims and, I guess co-defendants.
Because it looks like that's a battery by strangulation on the other one. So,
He was able to breathe normally, Your Honor.
yeah,
The only
okay.
thing in is bad
All right,
DVs.
gotcha. So they didn't charge us that?
No, they're both just misdemeanor bad DVs.
Okay.
But if you're comfortable, if we could bring in Miss P as well.
Is she out there? Sure. All right.
And Your Honor, just for the record, while they're bringing her, they both qualify for PTR. State has no objection on either case.
Okay.
It's up.
Good morning, ma'am. You have to speak in the microphone. Can you please raise your right hand? You swear a firm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, you can put your hand down. Can you state your name, please? All right, ma'am. So we have Mr. Adolph here, and you, it looks like this was from the same incident. You were both arrested. State,
May I inquire?
you may.
Ms. P, good morning. Can you please state your relationship to Mr. Dolphy? Okay. Are you afraid of him? Has anything like this ever happened before? If anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred, do you feel comfortable calling 911?
You have to answer out
For the
loud,
record,
ma'am.
that was a head nod. I noticed there was a child in the home. Are you fearful for the child's safety if he were to come home? Okay. And do you want contact with him while this case is pending? Okay. And then, Mr. Dolphy, I'm going to ask you pretty much the same questions. Can you please state your relationship to Miss P?
The father of the kids?
Are you afraid of her?
No, not at all.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
No, not at all.
If anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred, do you feel comfortable calling 911?
Yes.
Do you feel the child is safe in the home?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with her returning to the home?
Yes.
And do you want contact with her while this case is pending?
Yes.
There's no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. P, before we go any further, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you? Okay. All right, so here's the deal. You both qualify for what is referred to as pretrial release, meaning I'm going to release you without having you post a bond, but I'm going to give you some conditions, okay? The condition is that you may both return to the residence, but neither of you is to have any hostile contact with the other. So, sir, that means if she even raises her voice at you, you call the police, she's gonna come back in. Ma'am, same thing. If he even raises his voice at you, call the police, okay? Second, if there are any weapons or firearms in the home, they need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours. I don't want you to have, possess, or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Additionally, I didn't see where, if DCF was notified, they were.
They were, Your Honor.
Okay, additionally, I'm gonna order that you both, actively participate in any DCF investigation. Okay, so if they start the investigation, you can't just stonewall them, all right? Any other conditions, State?
No, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so I'm giving you both PTR. You'll both get out today. Good luck. Go on. All righty. How you doing, sir?
How you doing? Good morning, sir.
Good. Please raise your right hand. Swear a firm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear.
All right, put your hand down. Can you state your name, please?
Randolph King III.
All right, Mr. Cannon. You're here on 2025 MM 404-600AO. Sir, you're charged with simple battery, or sorry, battery domestic violence. I don't see a victim here. All right, I have reviewed the arrest affidavit in this case, and I do find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, you do well, first of all, would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
A public defender, right?
Yeah, do you want me to appoint the public defender?
Yeah, I signed for it.
Yeah, but I still have to appoint them if you.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay, at this time, I will appoint the public defender. Sir, you qualify for what's called pretrial release.
Yes, sir.
So I have a question. Were you living with the victim at this hotel?
Yes, we was both came up here for a trip at Universal. We came Sunday night.
Okay, so you're here on vacation because it looks like you live in Fort Lauderdale, is that correct?
Um,
Oh, wait, no, that's where you were born at. Looks,
It was
where do you?
living. I was
Davie, you're
well. I was living with
Oh,
her.
Davie, yeah, okay. So you live in,
Oh,
so you live in
that's
South
Davie.
Florida?
Yeah, South Florida, basically.
Okay. And do you both live together in South Florida?
Yes, we were, but now I gave to the pretrial officer, and she got in contact with my mom, and I gave her my address to my mom house. That's where I'm gonna be staying at.
So you're gonna stay at your mom's?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, man. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grant you pretrial release, so you're gonna be released. I will allow you to return back to Davie, but I'm gonna order that you maintain a separate residence. I will allow you one-time return to the residence that you share with the victim in this case,
Yes, sir.
but you have to contact law enforcement, okay?
All right, go over there.
What's that?
You said contact law enforcement before going there.
Yeah, so she can explain that to you. So basically, you have to be escorted to go get your clothes, things like that, okay?
Yes.
Um,
Nah.
You
Oh,
are not to have any contact with the victim in this case. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, okay? So you have to, so go stay at your mom's. Sounds like you've already got that taken care of.
yes, sir.
But again, don't go back to that residence unless you have law enforcement. You can go back one time. That's just to retrieve personal effects, okay?
So you said maintain it.
Well, maintain, but one-time return. Yeah.
And you said no drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're just a standard. So, all right, sir.
Tisha, doesn't he one time to the
I know my grandfather's a chaplain, so.
Yep, have a good day, sir. Good luck. I'm missing one here, but how are you doing?
Good, are you?
Please raise your right hand. You swear firm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you put your hand down. You're a little soft-spoken, you need to speak up a little bit, okay? Could you state your name, please?
Anaidalis Custodio.
Oh, hey, Miss Espinoza, you're here on 2025 MM 404603. You were charged with battery, domestic battery. Looks like this was on the mother.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mom's not here?
No, Your Honor. I believe they're also here on vacation from
Yeah,
South
I saw
Carolina.
that.
Usually we would double her bond, however, given that she has no history and the allegations within the affidavit, state's not requesting it be doubled at this time. We just asked for the schedule of 1,000,
Yeah,
taking into account her lack of history.
okay. So you live in South Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, you live with your mother?
She lives with her boyfriend. I stay by myself.
Say again?
She lives with her boyfriend. I stay by myself.
So you stay by yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what I'm gonna do is, I do find probable cause for the charge in this case. I'm gonna set your bond at $1,000. I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim in this case, okay? You also, so you don't live with her, correct? With your mom? Okay, so there's no reason for you to have to go back to the house. Okay. I'm gonna order that you maintain separate residences. So you need to keep living apart. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your return. Additionally, you are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. State anything else?
No, Your Honor, my only concern is they did both provide the same address.
Okay.
Um,
So, ma'am, but you're telling me you don't live there, correct?
No,
You have to
we
speak up,
both-
please.
we both started living there, and then she moved to her boyfriend's house.
So, you have to speak up. Okay, so you just have to make sure that you maintain a separate residence, okay? All right, and I will allow you to return to South Carolina. So, good luck. I don't think she would have community ties here because she's here on vacation. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna set her bond at 1,000, but in the alternative, she qualifies for pretrial release if they can scan, if they can, because they can screen her. Yeah, so ma'am, if you do qualify, I will, with those same conditions, grant you pretrial release. But if they can't, when they screen you, if they can't verify your community ties, then you're gonna have to pay $1,000, okay? All right, thank you. How are we looking this afternoon?
This one is my best friend. This is just. He can, they can't.
So this, I got a question on this next guy.
Just when they run his name in. It's just kind of, that gets all. So you
Yeah, yeah, I'll go on and give him a, what's that? Yeah,
see at the top, for sure, top.
oh, good morning, sir, how are you?
Good morning, sir.
Please raise your right hand. You swear to affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right, you have to speak up a little bit.
Yes.
Can you state your name, please?
Terrence Lee.
All right, Mr. Lee, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Say again, sir.
Is that a yes? You qualify for the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
Okay. Sir, you're here on at this time I will appoint the public defender. You're here on case 2025 MM 404589. You're charged with battery, domestic violence. A warrant was issued by Judge Schaefer, so probable cause has been found. So, sir, I will grant you a bond in this case in the amount of $1,000. I'm gonna order that you not have any contact with the victim. I don't have the rest of that, David. Were you living with the victim at this time?
Say again, sir?
What's that?
I'll ask him.
Yeah. Okay. All right, sir. So again, I'm gonna set your bond at $1,000 as a condition of your bond. You are not to have any contact with the victim in this case. You must not return to the location. I will allow you to return one time with law enforcement, so you gotta find somewhere else to live, okay?
Sir.
And that's just to get your personal effects. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Additionally, if you have any, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs, okay? Sir, also, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but you do have a hold. You have an out-of-county hold from Citrus County. So, you know, you might not be getting out if Citrus comes and picks you up. okay?
That's a traffic offense. I
Yeah.
believe there is a bond on it.
Say again?
To add on, so we addressed this yesterday.
Yeah. Yep.
So he can bond on it? You have a bond, so you can bond from here.
Yeah, the only thing I have is just that there's a hold there, so.
No valid.
Or not yesterday.
All right, good luck, sir.
It was addressed.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Will you please raise your right hand? You swear firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, ma'am. Could you state your name, please?
Stephanie Mello.
All right, Ms. Miller, you're here on 2025 MM 404-599-AO. So, ma'am, you're living in Alabama, is that correct?
I live in North Carolina.
What's that?
I live in North Carolina.
You live in North Carolina?
Really hard to get a new license there.
Okay, it says Alabama right here, but okay. Anyways. So it looks like and you do not qualify for the services of the public defender. So you can either have to represent yourself or hire your own attorney. So I'm just gonna ask you some questions. It looks, oh, okay, I see you currently reside in North Carolina. So you do not live with the victim in this case?
No.
Okay. All right, ma'am. So I do find probable cause for your arrest in this case. I will set your bond at $1,000. There's going to be some conditions. You are to have no contact with the victim. You are not to return to 410 North Orange Avenue, Society Orlando Apartments. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your return home. I will allow you to return to North Carolina. However, you must stay in contact with, well, you're gonna have to get an attorney because you don't qualify for the public defender. You're not to possess any alcohol or illegal drugs, possess or consume, okay?
In North Carolina and Florida?
What's that?
Just, can you repeat the stipulation again?
Yeah, I'm gonna allow you to go back to North Carolina, but you're still gonna have to show up for, so you're gonna probably need to hire an attorney in Florida, okay?
And then come back for the court date?
Yeah, well, they can waive your appearance, so, But, so, yeah, but right now you don't have an attorney, okay? All right. Good luck, ma'am. Morning.
Morning, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking.
Sir.
All right, sir. Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Sir.
Could you state your name?
Giovanni Penn.
All right, Mr. Penn, you got two cases here today. First case is 2025 MM 200-401 AW. Second case is 2025 MM 200-393 AW. Sir, you were arrested in both cases on a warrant issued by Judge Carter.
And are the victims on both of these two new cases are both Ms. Penn and Mr. Williams. We would just bring your attention to Mr. Penn also has prior history against the same victim, Ms. Penn, a 2023 bat by strangulation, which she declined to prosecute, and a 2021 bat DV, also Ms. Penn, she declined to prosecute. So this would be the third and the fourth case
Okay.
that was reported.
All right. So, sir, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sir.
Is that yes?
Sir.
Okay. All right, sir. So you're entitled to a bond in this case. So, the victim in this case, you all both live at 393 Merlot Drive in Ocoee?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So appointed public defender, sir, based on the history, you're entitled to a bond, so I'm going to set your bond, but it's going to be a little higher, okay? As to case 2025 MM 200-401 AW, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. In that case, I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victim. You are not to return to the residence. You can return one time with law enforcement to get any personal effects. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 12 hours of your release. You're not to possess any alcohol, possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. As to case 2025 MM 200-393 AW, you were arrested on warrants or probable cause has been established. In that case, additionally, I'm going to set your bond at $2,500. Same conditions, you're to have no contact with the victim. You're not to return to the residence. You can return one time with law enforcement to retrieve your personal effects. You cannot possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 12 hours. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs.
Yes, sir.
All right? Good luck, sir. Good morning. Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. You have to speak up.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Yes? Okay. All right, could you state your name, please?
Denisha Rivas.
Ms. Rivas, you're here on, Reeves, you're here on case 2025 MM 404-594AO. Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
You have to speak into the microphone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Put your hand down. Can you state your name, please?
Stephanie Rivas.
All right, state.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you please state your relationship to Denisha Rivas?
Aunt.
Are you afraid of her?
Not afraid.
No?
No, but I don't want her back there.
Has anything like this ever happened before?
Just verbally, never a physical altercation.
If anything like this or anything more severe ever occurred, do you feel comfortable calling 911?
I do. But, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You two live in the same home?
Yes.
Do you want her to return to that home?
No.
And her response was kind of light for the record.
I saw her head.
Oh, I'm sorry. No.
Do you want contact with her while this case is pending?
No.
State has no further questions, Your Honor.
All right, so,
I believe.
ma'am, you do qualify for the services of the public defender.
Yes.
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you? You have to speak up.
Oh, yes.
Okay. State, do you have anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
And no objection to PTR.
Okay. All right, ma'am. So I have reviewed the arrest affidavit in this case. I do find probable cause. However, you do qualify for what is referred to as pretrial release. That means that I can release you without making you post a bond. However, there's going to be monitored and there's going to be some conditions, okay? Would you like for me to do that?
Yes, sir, please.
Okay, so in this case, the state has no objection. I will grant pretrial release. You are to have no contact with the victim. So ma'am, no contact means no contact. She can't call you, text you, email you, social media post, anything. And that's directly or indirectly, so you can't use a third party. So another family member or anything, okay? If she does, that's a violation.
Right.
Additionally, ma'am, you must not return to the residence. So you gotta find somewhere else to live. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement. So you call the police and they'll escort you over there, and that's to get clothes or anything like that. She just can't show up. She has to be
I understand.
escorted by the police, okay? Additionally, you are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, it must be turned over to law enforcement within 12 hours of your release. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Okay?
Yes.
All right, ma'am. So, ma'am, so did you hear those conditions?
Yes, sir.
All right, if any of those conditions are violated, then, so if she makes any contact with you, then you just have to call law enforcement, okay?
Yes, sir.
And she can't just come back to the house.
Yes, sir.
All right?
I'm
Right.
doing an
Good
injunction
luck, ma'am.
and all that, so,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Morning.
Please raise your right hand. Swear a firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
Put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Pardon?
Could you state your name, please?
Roger Smallwood.
All right, Mr. Swallow, you're here on 2025 MM 100212 AA. Sir, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Every time. Siri likes to listen in on me. So are you living with your brother at this time?
sir.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, sir. I'm gonna set your bond at,
Your Honor, he qualifies for pretrial release.
oh, he does? Okay. Oh, yep, you're right. All right, sir, you do qualify for pretrial release, meaning I can release you without making you post a bond, okay? So, sir, at this time, I will grant stating objection.
No, Your Honor.
I will grant you pretrial release. I'm gonna give some conditions. So since you're not living with him, you must maintain a separate residence from your brother, okay? From the victim in this case.
He's in Lake County.
Okay, yeah.
Orange County.
Yeah, but and then also you can't have any contact with him.
Oh, that's fine. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a brother anymore.
Okay,
So,
that's, all right.
you know, if he needs it long, he ain't getting it.
All right, that's just, yeah, I wouldn't say anything else, sir. So, so no contact, maintain separate residence, no weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they need to be turned over to law enforcement
Got rid of them.
within 24 hours of your release, and no possession or consumption of alcohol or illegal drugs, okay? You'll get out today, sir. Good luck. Wait, the public defender has something for you, okay? Come on up, sir. Please raise your right hand. You swear or affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, you put your hand down. State your name, please.
John Torres.
All right, Mr. Torres, 2025 MM 404-597AO. Sir, you're charged with battery domestic violence. I have reviewed the arrest affidavit in this case. I do find probable cause for your arrest. Sir, you do qualify for pretrial release. That means I can release you and you won't have to pay a bond, but there'll be some conditions, okay?
What are the conditions?
Well, I'm gonna tell you that in a second. State any objection to pretrial release?
No, Your Honor.
So the conditions will be the same whether I gave you a bond or whether you do PTR. The conditions are you're not to have any contact with the victim in this case. It looks like you all were living together, so you are not to return to that residence. You gotta find somewhere else to live. You can return one time with the assistance of law enforcement, okay? That's just to get personal effects, clothes, anything like that. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. All right? Yes. Sir, I've appointed the did I appoint the public defender in this?
I know.
All right, sir, you do qualify for the public defender?
You did.
I did, that's what I thought, so. Warrant Wednesday.
Yeah. You only got 56.
Same company. Still the company?
For this afternoon? Okay, that's not too bad. All right. Good luck, sir.
No.
We only got 2 more batteries. Yes.
And Your Honor, given that the victim's not here testifying to anything, and that this case originally came in as an agbat by strangulation, given the allegations, so it would ask that they be put on different shifts, because we cannot confirm
Yeah.
500 feet.
So, sir, what I'm gonna say is, you can still continue to work there, but you have to if it's a warehouse, they probably have different shifts. You're gonna have to get a different shift than the victim in this case, okay? The same building.
She works inside of the building. I'm in the warehouse, and my warehouse only has one shift.
Yeah.
She's in the corporate.
So you don't even work in the same building?
I don't even see her during work at all.
Okay.
And that's gonna, the only concern is he signed a no contact order saying 500 feet. So if she gets to
Yeah,
work and gets spooked and it's 500 feet, he's gonna be in violation.
Yep. So maintain 500 feet distance. Okay? So we'll do that. So you can keep working, but
Morgan,
just.
thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good luck, sir. Good morning. You can lower it.
Sorry.
All right. please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right. Can you state your name, please?
Markayla White.
All right, Ms. White. Yeah. Ma'am, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
This time I will appoint the public defender to represent you. This case 2025 MM 200-427AW. Ma'am, you're charged with simple battery. I have reviewed the arrest affidavit in this case, and I do find probable cause. I'm going to set your bond at $1,000. Give me 1 second here. All right, so you are to have no contact with the victim in this case. You are not to return to that residence, okay? You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You must refrain from any consumption or possession of any alcohol or illegal drugs. If you have any weapons or firearms, they must be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours. Okay? Looks like you live in Orangeburg, South Carolina.
I don't reside there. My family does. That's just on my driver's license.
Where do you live at? Here?
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, I actually know Orangeburg.
Oh, really?
One of my very good friends lives up there.
Yeah. That's where I'm from.
I have been to the, I think it's TGI Fridays or something there. That's like the one restaurant they have. But I used to go up there and go hunting. So, all right. So don't return there, no contact with the victim, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no weapons or firearms. Okay? You need to get your license corrected.
Okay.
All right? All right. Good luck. So $1,000. All right. Good morning.
Morning.
Please raise your right hand. You swear from the testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
All right? You can put your hand down. Can you state your name, please?
Tanasia Wynn.
All right, Ms. Wynn. This is case 2025 MM 200-384. Ma'am, you're charged with stalking, follow, harass, cyber stalking, or other. All right, you were arrested on a warrant signed by Judge Carter, so probable cause has already been found. Ma'am, you do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sure.
That's her right there. Is that yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You do qualify for a bond in this case.
No.
I'm going to set your bond at $1,500. Ma'am, you are not to have any contact with the victim in this case, okay?
Yes, sir.
You mustn't, go. Yeah, I was just gonna say you meant to maintain separate residences.
We would ask it to be a no return, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you can't go back over there, so, but also, it sounds like you already have your own residence.
Yeah, we
So no return and separate residences. You're not to possess any alcohol or firearms. If you have any alcohol or firearms, any weapons or firearms. If you have any weapons or firearms, you must not maintain those. They have to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And it looks like you live in Melbourne?
Yes.
Okay. So, there's no objection to you returning to Melbourne, so. All right, just make sure you stay in contact with your attorney. Good luck. Okay. So this is 2023 CF 7135000. This is an out-of-county violation of probation out of Pinellas County. Bond is set at 0. I will maintain that bond at 0. He's been transferred to Osceola?
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So he's been transferred. All right. Good morning, ma'am. Please raise your right hand. You swear a firm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right, put your hand down. So, ma'am, you're here in 251436 CFA. You're being held on an out-of-county warrant out of Seminole County for the charge of fleeing or attempting to elude lights and sirens. They have set your bond at $8,000. I will stay that bond at $8,000. Right. I feel like I just saw you.
Yesterday.
You did.
Right. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
All right, put your hand down. State your name.
Santiago Geraldo.
All right, Mr. Gerardo, you're here on an out-of-county warrant, or sorry, violation of probation out of county, out of Osceola, case number 2001809. They have set you at no bond. I'm gonna maintain that, so we'll wait and see if Osceola comes and picks you up. Okay? Go ahead.
How long do I have until they come?
24 hours. How you doing, sir?
Doing, sir?
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right, could you state your name?
My name is Royce McCaskill II.
All right, Mr. McCaskill, you're here on 25 CF 006050. You're being held on an out-of-county warrant from Hillsborough County. They have, and this is for grand theft, they have set a bond at $2,500. I will stay that bond at $2,500. Okay?
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Hello again, Your Honor.
Good morning. How are you?
Well,
Okay. Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, sir.
All right, and put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Eric Steve.
All right, Mr. Steve. You're here on 2022 CF 000113. You're here on a warrant, or sorry, violation of probation warrant out of Citrus County. They have set your bond at 0. I will maintain that bond at 0, so you'll be held at no bond. See if Citrus comes and picks you up.
I'm sorry, what?
What's that?
I didn't understand the,
So I'm gonna hold, so when they issued the out-of-county violation of probation, they set the bond, the judge who issued it set it at 0, so I'm gonna hold you at no bond.
okay,
And see if Citrus comes and gets you, okay?
okay.
All right, good luck, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Well, it would depend.
Excuse me.
I mean, I would bring that up,
How you doing?
so they would have to pay you overtime.
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay. So, ma'am, you're here, well, could you state your name, please?
Melissa Gonzalez.
All right, Ms. Gonzalez, you're here on 2021 CF 014881AO. There's a violation of probation that was signed by Judge Madrigal. You're, for grand theft of 3rd degree, Bond was set at $1,000. I will stay that bond at $1,000. Okay?
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, wait, ma'am, come here. She didn't do an application, but, ma'am, it's a warrant, so you didn't do an application. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you on this case?
I'm sorry to hear you.
Would you like for me to, you didn't do an application, but would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Sure, yes.
Okay, all right. That's her right there. She's just gonna give you some paperwork real quick, and then your, so your bond's at set of 1,000, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. This is, and he didn't do an application either, but I'll make a provisional appointment of the public defender, case 2024 CF 3382AO. This is a violation of drug probation. Bond was set at 0 by Judge Kranick. I will maintain bond at 0. So he's held no bond. Come on up, sir. Please raise your right hand.
Sir.
Do you swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Sir. Yes.
All right. Can you state your name, please?
Matthew Johnson.
You said Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir. Matthew Johnson.
All righty. So, sir, you're here in case 2014 CF 2778AO. You're here on a violation of probation. Judge Falcone signed the warrant, so he found probable cause for the violation. He set bond at 0. I'm going to maintain you at 0 bond. Good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And yes, and I'll appoint the public defender. So, how are you, sir?
Good. How are you, sir?
Please raise your right hand. You swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right, put your hand down. Could you state your name, please?
Elvin Lau.
All right, Mr. Lau, you're here on 2024 CF 4121AO. You do qualify for the services of the public defender. Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Please.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You were arrested on a warrant signed by Judge Jordan. So Judge Jordan set your bond at 0. I'm going to maintain you at 0 bond. Good luck. Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear affirm testimony you're about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir.
All right, could you state your name, please?
Christopher Fazima.
All right, sir, you're here on 2023 CF 6609AO. You were arrested on a warrant signed by Judge Jordan, so he's found probable cause for your violation of probation. He set your bond at 0. I'm going to maintain you at 0 bond. Sir, would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Excuse me?
Would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, sir.
Is that a yes?
Sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, can you advise he has an immigration detainer?
What's that?
He has an immigration detainer.
Oh, okay. Sir, come back up to the mic. Sir, you're being held at no bond, but if you do get a bond in the future, you will not be released immediately because ICE has placed a hold against you. So then you'll be held and they'll see if ICE wants to come and pick you up, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Waive, Your Honor.
Okay. At this time, I'll appoint the public defender to represent Mr. Simmons, 2023 CF 3789AO. It's a violation of community control for aggravated assault with a firearm. Warrant was signed by Judge Jordan. He set bond at 0. I'll maintain him at 0 bond. Yeah, that's community control. Yeah. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Please raise your right hand. You swear from testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand. Could you state your name, please?
Evan McShane.
All right, Mr. McShane, you're here on 2024 CT 301082 AE. Sir, you were arrested on a warrant. The judge found probable cause for violation of probation. You were on probation for driving under the influence. The judge has set your bond at 0. I'm going to maintain you at 0 bond. Good luck. Oh, would you like for me to appoint the public defender to represent you?
Yes, please.
Okay. There she is, right there.
Tisha, denial?
Okay. It's a VOP, so.
Division 80. VOP status is July the 28th at 9 a.m. Courtroom 4E.
Right next to my courtroom. All right, I think that's all we have. Yeah, we got, yep. All right, first up, Christopher Carter.
Sorry, Your Honor, we
No
have to
problem.
order, 1 second. 25 CF 5548 denied and information was filed.
All right, next we have Nara Keith Payne.
25 CF 5691 granted, notice and on filing.
Jessica Bueno.
25 MM 403 624 granted, it was no billed.
Ronald Coleman.
25 CF 5432 denied. His bond is previously revoked. He's not entitled to release on a 33-day motion.
Jamal LaFortune.
25 CF 5114 granted, notice and on filing.
Mark Turner.
I have 2 for Mr. Turner. The first being 25 CF 5949 granted, it was no billed.
Second, Mark Turner.
25 CF 5956 granted, no billed.
Yandri Lavia.
25 CF 6007 granted, notice and on filing.
John Wilson, or Joe Wilson, sorry.
25 CF 6314 granted, notice and on filing.
Samuel Disla.
25 CF 6168 denied and information was filed.
Silky Johnson.
25 CF 6208 granted, notice and on filing.
That's like the time when I worked for the feds, we arrested a guy, and his first name was Danger. So, Danger Jose Rodriguez. I'll never forget him. I was like, man, they set that, they set him up for success. Matthew Nash.
25 CF 6273 granted, notice and on filing.
Louis Torch.
25 CF 3408, granted, notice of non-filing.
Audrey Parrish,
25 15151 AA, granted, notice of non-filing.
Gordon Smith,
25 403 523, denied, and information was filed.
Mark Ravello,
25 403 416, granted, notice of non-filing.
Jody Culling,
25 CF 6324, granted, notice of non-filing.
Tawan Robinson,
25 403 545, denied, and information was filed.
Haley Maddox,
25 CF 6176, granted, notice of non-filing.
I think that's all we have this morning.
I have a Lorenzo Paul.
All the one that we did this morning?
1 second. No, that was that was Williams, Prince Williams. Paul Lorenzo.
Lorenzo Hall.
Yes. And he's still in custody. 25 CF 6192. Tisha, you might
Missed
need to do
it.
a new order.
Okay.
25 CF.
Lorenzo Paul.
Yes. You have it?
Found it, yeah.
Okay.
25 CF 6192, granted, notice of non-filing.
All right, now I think that's all we have.
Yes.
All right, see everybody back here at 1 o'clock. We are off the record.